ADW Hatred Slam 33rd show of 2022 by Colton Dennis. The crowd is cheering. Hello everyone and welcome to another great night for wrestling. And tonight we find out who the new number one contenders will be for the champions, said announcer number one. And the thing is, I believe we will find out who Anne and James saw at Blood Rumble this past week, said announcer number two. We all would love to know who is having other wrestlers coming to our shows and hurting them. But I think we should head down to the ring for our first match, said announcer number one. I'm ready if you are, said announcer number two. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is an 8-woman battle royale, and is a number one contenders match for the XX Championship. Introducing the challengers: The Smile, Nourisha, Wildflower, Vanity, Phobia, Mantis, Knockout and Saffron, said announcer number three. Beldings. All 8 women are attacking each other, and the battle royale has begun, said announcer number one. I wonder who one will face Gem for her title, because Taz took her to the limit until she was thrown over the top rope, said announcer number two. We won't know until the last woman is in the ring, said announcer number one. The Smile chops Saffron's chest. Saffron groans. The Smile whips Saffron into the corner. Saffron groans. The Smile runs at Saffron. Saffron lifts the Smile over the top rope. The Smile lands onto the ledge of the ring, then kicks Saffron's face. Saffron groans, then walks away. The Smile climbs up the turn. Buckle then gets to the top of it. Wildflower sees the Smile on the top turnbuckle, runs then pushes her feet. The Smile falls off the top turnbuckle, lands onto the mat. She groans, then holds her head. Smile landed awkwardly there, said announcer number two. Wildflower picks the Smile up, grabs her head, runs, then throws her over the top rope. The Smile is holding onto the top rope, then dangles. Smile's still holding on, said announcer number one. Wildflower looks at the Smile, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then drop kicks her back. The Smile falls onto the floor, then she groans. Smile's gone, said announcer number two. Bye bye, you loser. Get into the back where all the other losers are, said Wildflower, smiling, then turning around. Come on, Smile, we'll help you too. The back, said referee number one. The Smile slowly walks up the ramp, stops, turns around, runs down it, slides into the ring, stands up, turns Wildflower around, then continuously punches her. Wildflower, continuously groaning, then staggers backwards into the ropes. The Smile steps backwards, runs at Wildflower, then clotheslines both her and herself over the top rope. Both the Smile and Wildflower land onto the floor. Smile got payback for what Wildflower did to her, said announcer number one. And I have to say, I think she deserved it too, said announcer number two. The referees are trying to break apart both the Smile and Wildflower. Vanity is punching Phobia. Phobia is groaning. Vanity bounces Phobia off of the ropes. Phobia twists Vanity's left arm, grabs her by the throat, lifts her up, then chokeslams her. Vanity groans. Phobia turns around. Mantis kicks Phobia in the right side of her head. Phobia groans, then falls onto the mat. Mantis approaches Vanity, then continuously kicks her. Vanity continuously groaning. Phobia stands up, looks at Mantis, then runs at her. Mantis bends over. Phobia goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Phobia just eliminated herself, said announcer number one. And Mantis has no idea that she was heading for her, said announcer number two. Knockout is punching Nourisha. Narisha is groaning. Knockout turns around, then looks at Mantis. Hey, Mantis. Mantis looks at Knockout. I'm gonna whip her to you. You throw her over the top rope, said Knockout. All right, said Mantis. Knockout bounces Narisha off of the ropes. Narisha reverses. Rit. Knockout runs towards Mantis. Mantis lifts Knockout over the top rope. Knockout lands onto the floor, then looks up at Mantis. Hey, what was that? Asked Knockout. You told me to eliminate her. You weren't specific, said Mantis. Mantis is right. She wasn't specific on which person to eliminate, said announcer number 1. Saffron stands up, then clotheslines Narisha. Narisha groans. Mantis turns around. Saffron starts punching Mantis. Mantis is groaning. Saffron bounces Mantis off of the ropes. Mantis reverses it, then bends over. Saffron stops in front of Mantis, wraps her arms around her head, then does a neck breaker onto her. Mantis groans. Come on, said Saffron. Vanity goes to clothesline Saffron. Saffron sidesteps Vanity. Vanity goes through the middle rope, then lands onto her feet outside of the ring. Saffron runs, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then does a baseball slide onto Vanity. Vanity goes into the barricade. Saffron stands up onto the ledge of the ring, walks along it, then starts climbing up the turnbuckle. Saffron. Better be careful, said announcer number 2. Saffron gets to the top turnbuckle. Mantis runs up the turnbuckle. Saffron head-butts Mantis. Mantis groans. Saffron pushes Mantis off of the second rope. Mantis lands onto the mat, then she groans. Saffron stands up onto the top turnbuckle, looks down, then sees Vanity slowly standing up outside of the ring. Vanity looks up at Saffron. Saffron jumps off the top turnbuckle, then lands onto Vanity. Dear Lord, said announcer number 1. Saffron stands up, then goes to climb onto the ledge of the ring. Referee number 1 stops Saffron. You're eliminated. You jumped off the top turnbuckle, said referee number 1. Saffron sighs, then walks away. Mantis stands up. Narisha does a bicycle kick onto Mantis. Mantis groans, then lays in the middle of the ring. Narisha bends down to grab Mantis. Vanity slides into the ring, grabs Narisha from behind, then throws her through the middle rope. Narisha lands onto the floor, then she groans. Oh, Narisha landed hard, said announcer number 2. And to remind people, she's still in this match, said announcer number 1. Vanity picks Mantis up, runs, then throws her over the top rope. Mantis is holding onto the top rope. Mantis is holding on for dear life, said announcer number 2. Vanity holds out her arms. Mantis pulls herself onto the ledge of the ring. Vanity turns around, sees Mantis on the ledge of the ring, then runs at her. Mantis' shoulder blocks Vanity's stomach. Vanity groans. Mantis puts her head between Vanity's leg, then lifts her over the top rope. Vanity lands onto Narisha. Oh man, Narisha just got taken out by the elimination of Vanity, said announce number 1. Mantis stands up onto the ledge of the ring. Narisha is slowly moving. Mantis, don't jump off the ledge of the ring. You went over the top rope, remember, said announcer number 2. Narisha stands up next to the ring. Mantis runs on the ledge of the ring, then kicks Narisha's face. Narisha falls onto the floor, holds her face, then she groans. What a kick that was, said announcer number 1. Vanity stands up, grabs Mantis's left leg, then starts pulling onto it. Mantis is holding onto the ropes. Hold on, Mantis, said announcer number 2. Mantis pulls Vanity with her left leg, then pushes her backwards. Vanity goes into the barricade, then she groans. Now get her out of here, said announcer number 1. Narisha slowly standing up. Mantis looks down at Narisha, jumps up, then does a springboard moonsault onto her. Bell dings. Here's your winner, Narisha. Narisha will face Gem for her XX championship, said announcer number 2. And you have to hand it to Mantis. She held on as long as she could. And if she never did that moonsault, I guarantee she'd be number 1 contender. But no disrespect to Narisha, said announcer number 1. We understand what you're saying. Congratulations to Narisha. Good luck against Gem, said announcer number 2. Well folks, up next is number 1 contenders match for the tag team championships, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a tag team battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the tag team championships. Introducing the challengers, the Crow and the Anaconda, Mr. Indestructible and Swine, Bombardment and the Scout, Fatal Fury and Mutiny, Macho, Monster and Sphinx and Mercury and the Martyr, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. All 12 men are attacking each other. The Scout is punching Swine. Swine is groaning. The Scout whips Swine. Swine reverses it. The Scout goes into the corner. Swine runs at the Scout. The Scout boots Swine. Swine groans, then walks away. The Scout hits Swine's back. Swine groans, then turns around. The Scout kicks Swine's stomach, then goes for a cutter. Swine pushes the Scout. The Scout bounces off of the ropes. Swine quickly runs at the Scout, then the clotheslines him over the top rope. The Scout lands onto the floor. Scout's gone, said announcer number 2. Mutiny punches the Anaconda. The Anaconda is groaning, then leans against the ropes. Mutiny grabs the Anaconda's left leg, then lifts him. The Anaconda is holding onto the ropes, then punches Mutiny. Mutiny groans, then lets go of the Anaconda. The Anaconda jumps onto Mutiny's back, then locks in a sleeper hold onto him. And Quat, Serpent's bite and Quat is locked in, said announcer number 1. Mutiny is waving his hands if Mutiny passes out. It'll be hard to throw him over the top rope, said announcer number 2. Mutiny continues waving his arm, runs, then goes through the middle rope. The Anaconda gets hung off the top rope. He gasps, breaks the submission, then falls onto the mat. That's one way to break a sleeper hold, said announcer number 1. Mutiny stands up, holds his throat, then continuously kicks the Anaconda. The Anaconda continuously groaning. Mutiny picks the Anaconda up, then throws him over the top rope. The Anaconda holds onto the top rope, then pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring. Mutiny continuously kicking the Anaconda. The Anaconda is swaying on the ledge of the ring. Mutiny stands up, then goes to grab the Anaconda. The Crow looks at Mutiny, shrugs his shoulders, then dropkicks his back. Mutiny goes over the top rope, lands onto the floor, then looks up at the Crow. The Crow shrugs his shoulders again. We're not partners tonight, said the Crow. Will Crow's right. They ain't partners tonight, said announcer number 2. Crow better look behind him, said announcer number 1. Swine grabs the Crow from behind, then throws him over the top rope. The Crow lands onto the floor next to Mutiny, then looks at him. Mutiny smiles. Hey, we're not partners tonight, said Mutiny, walking away. And Mutiny got back at Crow, said announcer number 2. The Anaconda stands up onto the ledge of the ring. Swine goes to punch the anaconda. The anaconda ducks, grabs Swine's head, then hangs him off the top rope. Swine gasps, then walks away. The anaconda stands back up onto the ledge of the ring. Fatal. Fury kicks Swine's stomach, grabs him, then throws him into the anaconda. The anaconda falls off of the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Anaconda has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. One team is fully gone, said announcer number 2. Bombardment is punching Mercury. Mercury is groaning. A group jumps at Bombardment. Bombardment is groaning, then leans against the ropes. A group is going after Bombardment, said announcer number 1. The group slowly lifts Bombardment's legs. Bombardment is holding on to the ropes. The group throws Bombardment over the top rope. Bombardment bounces off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Bombardment is gone, said announcer number 2. Another full team has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. The group attacks Macho Monster. Macho Monster is groaning. They're trying to get the big men out of the match, said announcer number 2. And that's a smart move, because they could do a lot of damage themselves, said announcer number 1. Sphinx stands up in the corner, runs, then jumps onto the group. The group falls onto the mat. Sphinx just saved his partner, said announcer number 2. Sphinx punches Mr. Indestructible. Mr. Indestructible walks away. Sphinx punches the martyr. The martyr falls onto the mat. Mercury goes to punch Sphinx. Sphinx ducks, wraps his arms behind Mercury, then does an inverted double arm underhook facebuster onto him. Mercury groans. Sphinx stands up. Come on, said Sphinx. Mr. Indestructible is standing next to the ropes. Sphinx runs at Mr. Indestructible. Mr. Indestructible lifts Sphinx over his head, turns around, then throws him onto the floor. Sphinx has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. Mercury slowly pulls himself up with the ropes. Mr. Indestructible turns around, sees Mercury standing up, then runs at him. Mercury pulls down the top rope. Mr. Indestructible goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Mr. Indestructible is gone, said announcer number 2. All 4 are attacking Macho Monster. Macho Monster is groaning, then pushes all 5 away. Mercury runs at Macho Monster. Macho Monster boots Mercury. Mercury rolls underneath the bottom rope. Swine punches Macho Monster. Macho Monster is staggering into the ropes. Swine steps backwards, then goes to clothesline Macho Monster. Macho Monster does a back elbow onto Swine. Swine groans, then walks away. Macho Monster turns. Swine lifts, then slams him onto the mat. Swine groans. The martyr does a jumping forearm onto Macho Monster. Macho Monster groans, then walks into the corner. The martyr is punching Macho Monster. Macho Monster is groaning, then pushes the martyr. The martyr rolls backwards onto the mat. Stands up, runs at Macho Monster, then jumps at him. Macho Monster moves. The martyr hits his head off the top turnbuckle, goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Martyr just eliminated himself, said announcer number 1. We're down to 4 men, said announcer number 2. Fatal Fury punches Macho Monster. Macho Monster is groaning, then pushes Fatal Fury away. Fatal Fury staggers backwards, then punches Macho Monster again. Macho Monster is groaning, then walks towards the corner. Macho Monster doesn't want to be in the corner. That's where Fatal Fury is dangerous, said announcer number 1. Fatal Fury continuously punches Macho Monster all over his body. Macho Monster continuously groaning then pushes Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury falls onto the mat. He groans, stands up, then runs towards Macho Monster. Macho Monster boots Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury falls onto the mat, then he groans. Swine punches Macho Monster. Macho Monster is groaning. Swine bounces Macho Monster off of the ropes. Macho Monster reverses it, then clotheslines Swine. Swine flips onto the mat. Macho Monster just flipped Swine, said announcer number 2. Macho Monster picks Swine up, then lifts him onto his shoulder. Is Swine gonna be eliminated here? Asked announcer number 1. Swine is holding onto the top rope. Macho Monster tries throwing Swine over the top rope. Fatal Fury stands up, approaches, grabs Swine's legs, then pulls him off of Macho Monster's shoulder. Macho Monster turns around. Both Fatal Fury and Swine double clothesline Macho Monster over the top rope. Macho Monster lands onto the ledge of the ring. Macho Monster is almost out, said announce number 2. Swine runs, then bounces off of the ropes. On the opposite side of the ring, Fatal Fury clotheslines Swine. Swine groans. Why do that? Asked announcer number 1. Fatal Fury picks Swine up, runs, then throws him over the top rope. Swine lands onto the floor. Swine is gone, said announcer number 2. Fatal Fury looks at Macho Monster. Macho Monster is slowly standing up onto the ledge of the ring. Fatal Fury bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then runs at Macho Monster. Macho Monster grabs Fatal Fury by his throat. Fatal Fury is struggling, then slowly falls to his knees. Macho Monster is leaning over the top rope. Mercury appears on the top turnbuckle, jumps off of it, then hangs Macho Monster off the top rope. Macho Monster gasps, lets go of Fatal Fury, then falls onto his right knee. Mercury looks at Macho Monster, runs, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then does a baseball slide onto him. Macho Monster falls off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Macho Monster has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. And now we're down to 2, said announcer number 2. Mercury is leaning against the ropes, then turns around. Fatal Fury bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then clotheslines Mercury. Mercury falls onto the mat, then he groans. What a clothesline by Fatal Fury, said announcer number 1. Fatal Fury picks Mercury up, runs towards the ropes, then throws him over the top of them. Mercury lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winners, Fatal Fury and Mutiny, said announce number 3. Fatal Fury and Mutiny will face Revanger and the Strangler for the tag titles, said announcer number 2. And let's see if Mutiny could win them with Fatal Fury this time. Alright folks, up next is number 1 contender for the Transcontinental Championship, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a number 1 contenders match for the Transcontinental Championship. Introducing the challengers first, the Hallowed and his opponent, Pain, said announce number 3. Bell dings. Pain runs at the Hallowed, then goes to clothesline him. The Hallowed ducks. Pain turns around. The Hallowed superkicks Pain. Pain falls onto the mat, then he groans. The Hallowed goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turn buckle. Will it be over this quickly? Asked announcer number 2. The Hallowed gets to the top turnbuckle, then looks down at Pain. Pain rolls outside of the ring. Well, Pain knew where he was, said announcer number 1. The Hallowed looks at Pain, turns, jumps off the top turnbuckle, then lands onto him. Both Payne and the Hallowed are groaning. "What a crossbody by Hallowed," said announce number 2. The Hallowed picks Payne up, grabs his head, then bounces it off the announce table. Payne groans. "Get him in the ring, Hallowed," said referee number 1. The Hallowed throws Payne into the ring. Payne stops rolling. The Hallowed climbs onto the ledge of the ring, then starts to go through the middle rope. Payne stands up, then kicks the middle rope. The Hallowed groans, then falls onto the mat. "What a way to turn things around," said announcer number 1. Payne picks the Hallowed up, then chops his chest. The Hallowed groans, then walks towards the corner. Payne continuously punches the Hallowed. The Hallowed continuously groaning, then sliding down the corner. Payne puts his boot underneath the Hallowed's chin, then pushes his head through the bottom and middle rope. The Hallowed is groaning. "Hey, get out of the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Payne walks away. "You've got a 5 count. "Payne," said referee number 1. "I know, I'm not stupid," said Payne, walking towards the Hallowed. The Hallowed stands up, then kicks Payne's stomach. Payne groans. The Hallowed grabs Payne's head, then bounces it off the top turnbuckle. Payne groans. The Hallowed continuously chops Payne's chest. Payne continuously groaning, then walking along the ropes. The Hallowed bounces Payne off of the ropes, then bends over. Payne kicks the Hallowed's chest. The Hallowed groans, then stands up. Payne bounces off of the ropes again, then goes to clothesline the Hallowed. The Hallowed ducks. Payne bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. The Hallowed lifts Payne, then does a flapjack onto him. Payne groans. The Hallowed covers Payne. 1, 2. Payne kicks out. 2, said referee number 1. Hallowed almost had it there, said announcer number 2. The Hallowed picks Payne up, then lifts him onto his right shoulder. Payne is squirming, then lands onto his feet behind the Hallowed. The Hallowed turns around. Payne kicks the Hallowed's stomach. The Hallowed groans. Payne sets the Hallowed up for a double arm DDT. The Hallowed is squirming, pulls onto Payne's legs, then slingshots him. Payne goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Payne just got slingshotted. Over the top rope, said announcer number 1. Payne is slowly standing up outside of the ring. The Hallowed looks at Payne, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, runs, then does a suicide dive onto him. Payne goes into the barricade. Hallowed sends Payne into the barricade. You know, I'd love to see a match between Hallowed and Bull, said announce number 2. That would be a match to see. But Hallowed needs to beat Payne first, said announce number 1. The Hallowed grabs Payne, then rolls him into the ring. Payne stops rolling. The Hallowed climbs onto the ledge of the ring, then starts to go through the middle rope. Payne stands up, then goes to kick the middle rope again. The Hallowed quickly stands up onto the ledge of the ring. The middle rope is shaking. Payne looks at the Hallowed, then goes to punch him. The Hallowed blocks, then punches Payne. Payne groans. The Hallowed headbutts Payne. Payne groans, then walks away. The Hallowed climbs up the turnbuckle. Payne looks at the Hallowed, runs, then hits him. The Hallowed lands onto the top turnbuckle, then he groans. Payne climbs onto the second rope, punches the Hallowed, then sets him up for a suplex. Payne's gonna suplex Hallowed off the top turnbuckle, said announce number 2. Payne goes to lift the Hallowed. The Hallowed holds onto the top rope. Payne hits the Hallowed's back, sets him up for a suplex, then goes to lift him again. The Hallowed holds onto the top rope again, then punches Payne's right side. Payne is groaning. The hallowed lifts Payne, then plants him face first onto the mat. Payne groans. Oh man, face first into the mat. That definitely hurts, said announcer number 1. Payne is laying on the mat. The hallowed stands up onto the top turnbuckle, looks down at Payne, then jumps off of it. Payne moves. The hallowed lands onto his feet, rolls onto the mat, stands up, then turns around. Payne kicks the hallowed on his testicles. The hallowed groans, then falls onto the mat. What are you doing? Ring the bell, said referee number 1. Bell ding. Here's your winner by disqualification, the hallowed, said announcer number 3. Payne just disqualified himself, said announcer number 2. I guess he knew hallowed could beat him. So, he took the easy way out and disqualified himself, said announcer number 1. What a low way to show people you can't beat your opponent, said announcer number 2. Payne starts walking away. The hallowed is slowly moving. Payne picks the hallowed up, sets him up, then does a double arm DDT onto him. The hallowed goes limp. And just to put the mark onto it, said announcer number 1. That is so disrespectful. Even to heel wrestlers, said announcer number 2. Well, at least we'll get to see hallowed versus bull now, said announcer number 1. Oh, that's right. At least a good thing did come out of it, said announcer number 2. Well, folks, we've made it to the main event, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a number 1 contenders match for the Global Championship. Introducing the challengers first, the Thunder and his opponent, Buster, said announce number 3. Bell dings. Both Buster and the Thunder are walking around the ring, then lock up. Buster puts a headlock onto the Thunder. The Thunder groans, then bounces Buster off of the ropes. Buster holds onto the headlock. The Thunder groans. Buster held onto the headlock, said announcer number 2. Buster tightens the headlock. The Thunder groans, then rolls Buster to his right side. Both Buster and the Thunder stand up, then double clothesline onto each other. Both men thought the same thing, said announcer number 1. Both Buster and the Thunder slowly stand up, then start punching each other. Like you always say. And quat. Only one could win this fight. And quat, said announce number 2. Buster punches the Thunder. The Thunder groans, then continuously punches Buster. Buster continuously groaning. The Thunder stands up, runs, then bounces off of the ropes. Buster does a scoop power slam onto the Thunder. The Thunder groans. Buster covers the Thunder. 1, 2. The Thunder kicks out. 2, said referee number 2. Buster got a quick pinfall, said announcer number 1. Buster stands up, picks the Thunder up, then whips him into the corner. The Thunder groans. Buster runs at the Thunder. The Thunder boots Buster. Buster groans, then walks away. The Thunder jumps onto the second rope. Buster turns around. The Thunder jumps off the second rope, then dropkicks Buster. Buster groans, then falls onto the mat. The Thunder covers Buster. 1, 2. Buster kicks out. 2, said referee number 2. Thunder almost had it there, said announcer number 2. The Thunder stands up, picks Buster up, lifts, then slams him onto the mat. Buster groans. The Thunder runs, bounces off of the ropes, then does a leg drop onto Buster. Buster groans. The Thunder covers Buster. 1, 2. Buster kicks out. 2, said referee number 2. Another close call for Thunder, said announcer number 1. The Thunder stands up, goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turnbuckle. Thunder's heading up top, said announcer number 2. The Thunder gets to the top turn buckle, Buster stands up, then turns around. The Thunder jumps off of the top turnbuckle, then goes for crossbody onto Buster. Buster quickly jumps, then dropkicks the Thunder. The Thunder falls onto the mat, then he groans. "What a beautiful dropkick that was by Buster," said announce number 1. Buster stands up, picks the Thunder up, lifts him onto his left shoulder, then throws him off. The Thunder's head bounces off the top turnbuckle. Buster runs, then bounces off of the ropes. The Thunder turns around, then does a jumping clothesline onto Buster. "Oh, did you see that move by Thunder? And for how quickly he delivered it?" asked announcer number 2. "I did. I can't believe how athletic these two are," said announcer number 1. Buster stands up in the corner. The Thunder runs at Buster, then does a jumping corner body splash onto him. Buster groans. The Thunder whips Buster into the opposite corner. Buster reverses it. The Thunder goes into the opposite corner. Buster runs at the Thunder. The Thunder boots Buster. Buster groans, then walks away. The Thunder jumps onto the second rope, then leaps at Buster. Buster catches the Thunder by his throat. "Oh, will this be it?" asked announcer number 2. The Thunder elbows Buster's head. Buster groans, then lets go of the Thunder. The Thunder kicks Buster's stomach. Buster groans. The Thunder sets Buster up for a suplex. "It's Thunder's turn to try for his finisher," said announce number 1. The Thunder lifts Buster. Buster lands onto his feet behind the Thunder, wraps his arms around his head, then does a neck breaker onto him. The Thunder groans, then holds his head. "What a neck breaker," said announcer number 2. Buster covers the Thunder. 1, 2. The Thunder kicks out. 2, said referee number 2. Buster stands up, then raises his right hand. "Buster wants to put Thunder away," said announce number 1. The Thunder slowly stands up, then turns around. Buster grabs the Thunder by his throat. The Thunder gasps. Buster lifts the Thunder. The Thunder lands onto his feet behind Buster. Buster turns around. The Thunder kicks Buster's stomach, sets him up for a suplex, then tries lifting him. Buster blocks the suplex. The Thunder tries lifting Buster again. Buster blocks the suplex again, lifts. The Thunder then hangs him onto the top rope. The Thunder groans. "Thunder just got hung up onto the top rope," said announcer number 2. Buster is standing next to the ropes, looks at the Thunder, runs, then does a knee lift onto him. The Thunder groans, falls onto the ledge of the ring, lands onto the floor, then rolls onto it. "That was a great knee lift by Buster," said announce number 1. Buster goes through the middle rope, walks around the corner, looks at the Thunder, then runs at him. The Thunder does a back body drop onto Buster. Buster lands onto the floor, then he groans. "Oh, a back body drop onto the floor," said announcer number 2. The Thunder is kneeling on the floor, then looks at Buster. "Hey, get into the ring now, Thunder," said referee number 2. The Thunder grabs Buster, then picks him up. Buster moves the Thunder's arms, then grabs him by his throat. The Thunder gasps. Buster squeezes his grip. The Thunder continues gasping, then falls onto his right knee. "I'm gonna finish you off," said Buster, picking the Thunder up, then lifts him. The Thunder lands onto his feet behind Buster. Buster turns around. The Thunder kicks Buster's stomach, sets him up for a suplex, lifts, then does vertical suplex power slam onto him outside of the ring. Buster goes limp. "Buster is out," said announcer number 1. The Thunder slowly picks Buster up, drags him towards the ring, then lifts him up. Buster gets rolled back into the ring. 9, 10. Ring the bell, said referee number 2. Bell dings. Here's your winner by count out. Buster, said announce number 3. Both Buster and Thunder wasted too much time outside of the ring. But Thunder got Buster back into the ring in time. But he didn't make it though, said announcer number 2. What a match this was. It was back and forth. I didn't even know who was gonna win, said announcer number 1. Backstage appears. Hey, look at the screen, said announcer number 2. The office door opens. Both Ann Dennis and James Dennis appear walking out of the office. I'm glad we finished this deal, said Ann. So am I. Just hopefully there won't be any more attacks, said James. Both Ann and James look at the doorway. Both Lee Sr. Dennis and Marie Dennis appear. Trust me with this deal. There won't be any more attacks. Thanks for the deal, said Lee Sr. walking away. Marie smiles, then follows behind Lee. Who are those two? And what kind of deal was made? Asked announcer number 2. I don't know, but hopefully we find out soon. Well, folks, we want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye, said announcer number 2 waving. The crowd is cheering. The end.